John H.Millman is an Australian professional tennis player. He reached a career-high singles ranking of world No. 60 in May 2016. He is coached by Australian Gary Stickler. Personal life. Millman was born in Brisbane, Australia, into a family of 5 children and is the second youngest. During his schooling years he attended Brisbane Grammar School, then the Anglican Church Grammar School. Outside tennis he enjoys soccer and supports Liverpool Football Club, who compete in the English Premier League. Junior career. Millman made his ITF Junior Tournament debut in Darwin as a 15-year-old in 2004 and reached the quarter-finals. He made his Junior Grand Slam debut at the 2006 Australian Open. He won his first junior tournament in June 2006 at a tournament held in New Caledonia. He then won his next 2 tournaments in a row held in Fiji and New Zealand respectively. He competed in his last junior tournament at the 2007 Australian Open. Junior singles finals. Professional career. In 2008 Millman won the F8 Futures in Australia, was runner-up at an F1 in Romania, losing to Razvan Sabah, and made the semis of a Morocco F5 tournament. In 2009, Millman's success on the junior circuit continued, making the final of an F2 in Bulgaria and claiming semi-final appearances in 2 Italian tournaments and another Bulgarian one. In the same year, Millman injured his back while training with the Australian Junior Davis Cup team. Millman improved his career ranking from close to 1,000 to the 300s in 2009. He achieved this by a semi-final performance in a challenger tournament in Burnie. He won his second Futures event in Kalgoorlie, defeating Matthew Ebden, and Millman also made the second round of qualifying for the Australian Open. Millman started 2010 by winning a wildcard entry into his hometown tournament, the Brisbane International. Unfortunately, he was drawn to play defending champion Radek Stepnik in the first round and lost in straight sets. Millman reached the final round of qualifying at the Australian Open, qualifying losing to Ukrainian Ilya Marchenko. He won his third Futures title in Berry on grass, defeating Greg Jones in the final in February. In September, Millman returned to Australia to claim his 4th Futures title of his career in Darwin with a 6-0, 6-1 victory in the final. In October, Millman won his first challenger title in Sacramento over Robert Kendrick 6-3, 6-2. Millman was again awarded a wild card into 2011 Brisbane International main draw, where he drew fellow Australian Matt Ebden but fell 6-4, 2-6, 4-6. He then competed in Sydney in Australian Open qualifying but fell in the second round in both tournaments. He then competed in challenges spread across Asia, Australia and Europe before injuring his shoulder during an Italian Futures tournament in April. He continued playing injured until Wimbledon qualifying, where he lost in the first round 6-2, 3-6, 5-7 to Fritz Wermarians. Following the loss at Wimbledon, he returned to Australia and did not compete in a tennis tournament again until 2012. At the beginning of 2012, Millman used his protected ranking to enter the 2012 Brisbane International qualifying tournament and managed to win 3 matches to qualify into the main draw. In the first round of the Brisbane International, he faced Santiago Giraldo but lost 3-6, 3-6. He then travelled to Melbourne to compete in Australian Open qualifying but was ousted in the first round by Vasek Pospisil 6-3, 6-7, 2-6. After a year with mixed results on the Future and Challenger circuits, Millman won his first title in over 2 years in Bendigo, where he defeated Ben Mitchell in the final 6-3, 6-3. He finished 2012 with a ranking of 199. 2013 Top 200 and injury. Millman began 2013 at the Brisbane International, where he entered qualifying and recorded straight-set wins over Luke Saville, Alex Bogomolov and Donald Young to make it into the main draw. He then recorded his first ever ATP win against Tatsuma Ito 6-4, 6-1 in the first round. Following his victory over Ito, he was awarded a main draw wildcard into the 2013 Australian Open. In the second round of Brisbane, he faced world No. 3 Andy Murray and lost in 3 sets 6-1, 5-7, 6-3. Following an impressive performance at the Brisbane International, an Australian writer, sports physiologist, coined the term Millmanians to describe Millman's extensive and loyal fans base. This has since been adopted by the Australian tennis community. Millman received a wildcard entry into the 2013 Apia International Sydney in the lead-up to the Australian Open and drew Tommy Robredo in the first round, winning 6-3, 6-4. He next took on the third seed, Andreas Seppi, for a place in the quarter-finals. Millman impressed, taking a set off the world No. 23, but eventually lost in 3 sets 2-6, 6-3, 3-6. Millman then competed at the 2013 Australian Open, which was the debut in the main draw at his home slam. He played world No. 84 Tatsuma Ito in the first round. Millman had recently defeated Ito at the Brisbane International, but Ito got the better of Millman in an epic 5-set match 4-6, 4-6, 6-3, 6-0, 5-7. After the loss, Millman mentioned ambitions to make the top 100 by the end of the year. Millman then played a $50,000 challenger event at the 2013 McDonald's Burnie International. He defeated compatriot Benjamin Mitchell in the first round despite losing the first set. Although having a first-round scare, he cruised through to the final where he faced Stefan Robert. Millman won the match 6-2, 4-6, 6-0. This became his second challenger title. Millman then headed to Adelaide to compete at the 2013 Charles Sturt Adelaide International, where he again had to face Robert. This time, though, it was in the first round and Robert won the tough match 6-3, 3-6, 6-7. Attempting to build on his early success in challenger events in 2013, Millman took part in the $35,000 Shimadzu All Japan Indoor Tennis Championships in Kyoto, Japan. Seeded fourth, Millman dispatched 2 local qualifiers, Toshihide Matsui and Hiroki Kondo, although he required a third-set tiebreaker against Hiroki Kondo. In the quarter-finals, Millman faced 7th-seeded German Peter Gojocic and again needed a third set, defeating him 6-3, 3-6, 6-3. In the semi-finals, Millman again was pitted against Japanese local hope and 5th-seeded Hiroki Moriyu, who defeated the top-seed Yuichi Sugita. The first set was tight with Millman and Moriyu trading breaks. Eventually, Millman prevailed in straight sets by the scoreline of 7-6, 6-1. In the finals, Millman faced Swiss second-seeded Marco Ciudinelli, who defeated Millman's doubles partner Matthew Barton in the other semi-final. Millman ousted Ciudinelli in 2 hours and 26 minutes 4-6, 6-4, 7-6 to claim his second challenger title in 2013 and third overall to cap a terrific start to the year. Millman was awarded a wild card into the 2013 French Open, but on the 20th of May 2013, Millman announced his withdrawal due to a shoulder injury. Millman was replaced by countryman and rising star Nick Kyrgios, who previously had a wild card for qualification rounds. Millman had not played a match since May 2013, but he announced via Twitter on the 19th of February 2014 that he hoped to be back playing by the end of March. It was later announced that his first competition in 11 months would be the Chengdu China F4, commencing on April 7, where he made the quarter-final. His ranking as of June 2014 had fallen to 1193. In August 2014, Millman won the Korea F10 and F11. These were his first titles in 17 months. In September, Millman made the semi-final of the Sacramento Challenger, losing in 3 sets to world number 54 Sam Querrey. The following week, Millman made the final of the Tiburon Challenger, but again lost to Sam Querrey in 2 sets. He rose 241 ranking positions in these 2 weeks, up to 285. In November, Millman won his 4th career challenger title at the Traralgon Tour against James Ward. 2015 Top 100. Millman commenced the 2015 season at the 2015 Brisbane International with a wild card into the main draw. He defeated Ryan Williams in round 1 and almost caused an upset, leading world No. 2 Roger Federer in round 2 6-4, 3-1 before losing 6-4, 4-6, 3-6. At the 2015 Australian Open, Millman lost in round 1 to Leonardo Mayer in straight sets. In February, Millman was forced to retire in round 1 of the Burnley Challenger with a lower back concern. He returned to compete in the Kyoto Challenger, where he reached the final but lost 3-6, 6-3, 3-6 against Mitchell Przyjazny. Millman lost in round of qualifying at the French Open, then played Vicenza Challenger, where he was seeded 6th and lost in the final to Inigo Cervantes. In June, Millman secured his first Grand Slam main draw entry via qualifying for the first time in his career at Wimbledon. Millman defeated 19th seed Tommy Robredo in round 1, before losing to Marcos Bagnatis in round 2, despite having a 2-0 lead. This result increased Millman's ranking and he reached the top 100 for the first time in July 2015. In August, Millman won his 6th and 7th challenger titles in Kentucky and Aptos. Millman ended 2015 with a ranking of 92. Millman commenced 2016 making the second round of Chennai, before playing in Sydney after being awarded a wild card. He lost in round 1 to Tommy Robredo. He advanced past the first round of the Australian Open for the first time in his career with a victory over Argentinian Diego Schwartzman. In the second round, Millman defeated Luxembourg world No. 38 Charles Muller in 5 sets to advance to the third round of a Grand Slam for the first time in his career. In the third round, Millman fell to fellow Australian and 16th seed Bernard Tomic. He then reached the quarter-finals of the 2016 Montpellier Open with wins over Julien Benneteau and Edouard Roger Vasselin. He lost to eventual finalist Paul-Henri Mathieu. Millman next competed at the 2016 Memphis Open, where he defeated Austin Krajicek in the first round before losing to Benjamin Becker. He next suffered back-to-back losses at the 2016 Delray Beach Open and the 2016 Acapulco Open, losing to Steve Johnson and world No. 8 David Ferrer respectively. He next competed at the 2016 Indian Wells Tournament, where he defeated Alexander Sarkisian before again losing to Steve Johnson. He then played at the 2016 Miami Open, where he defeated Pablo Carreño before losing to Pablo Cuevas. Millman next played at the 2016 French Open. He was pulled against 15th seed John Isner. He lost despite winning the first set and having 8 set points in the second set and a few in the third set. In the second set, Millman led 5-4 for 0-0 and was serving, but was still not able to capitalize. Millman next competed at the 2016 Mercedes Cup, starting off against 8th seed Lucas Pouille. He lost the first set, but came back to win the next two. He then played wildcard Juan Martín del Potro, losing in straight sets. Millman next competed at the third Grand Slam of the year at the 2016 Wimbledon Championships. He started off against Albert Montanez. He was down 2-1 but came back to win. He then reached the third round of a major for the second time in his career after beating 26th seed Benoit Paire in 4 sets. His third round would be against second seed Andy Murray. He lost there in straight sets. Milan next played at City Open. He defeated Denis Kudla but lost to 15th seed Marcos Bagnatis. Millman's next tournament was the Rogers Cup. He retired during his first round match trailing 4-6, 3-4. Millman then played at the Olympics for the first time. He defeated Ricardus Berankis without losing a single game in the first round, marking this the first time in Olympic tennis history that any player won a match in such fashion. Millman's second round match was against 4th seed Kei Nishikori. Millman served for the opening set and was up 4-0 in the first set tiebreak and was even up a break in the second set but eventually ended up losing in straight sets. Fan popularity. Millman revealed in early 2012 that support he received while injured and contemplating retirement in 2011 gave him the drive to continue pursuing tennis as a career. While competing at his hometown tournament, the 2013 Brisbane International, Millman received an immense amount of support at every match he competed in. It was later revealed his supporters had developed a reputation in the locker room. Millman is well known for thanking his supporters following each match and often hands out drinks from the fridge to his fans at the conclusion of his matches. Following his match against Andy Murray, the term #Millman began trending worldwide on Twitter for several hours. Millmania. Following Millman's first-round victory at the 2013 Brisbane International, Brisbane Times journalist Phil Lutton coined the term Millmania to describe the sudden and large hysteria surrounding his abrupt success. The Sydney Morning Herald has since begun using the term with Millman's continued success in the APIA International, Challenger and Futures finals. Singles. 26 singles performance timeline. Records. These records were attained in the open era of tennis.